Okay, ladies and gentlemen, last speaker of the day, Ryan Parsons from Race Coatings.
Thanks, guys. We're based in Warragul and Gippsland. Today I've brought an engine just to show you a little bit what we can achieve with our coatings. We are a ceramic specialist, but also we do Teflon coatings, which you'll see on the engine block. Also, we do piston coatings, so all engine internal parts we can do. As you can see, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the BT50 and also the Ford Ranger that have been having engine problems. Basically what we do is we have a contract with them. They remachine the bores, but we build up a 3 thou build-up on the piston to go back into the rebuilt engine for the Ford Ranger and the BT50. So that's something that we've been working with for the last 12 months. The business is only 12 months old. The guys that we have working for us have been doing it for over 15 years. You've probably heard of companies like HPC. So basically with the ceramics that you see in front of you here, we have various colours you can choose from. So obviously probably the most popular that you've seen around is the black and the chrome. Both have different capacities with the temperature ratings. Chrome being an 800C rating. Not sure if you guys, someone here probably has ceramic coated heads in polished. You'll find once it gets up to a certain temperature, it breaks down the aluminium oxide in the ceramic, which gives it a galvanised silvery dull look, which you guys may have seen before. So this will only have a rating of 800 degrees Celsius before it starts to break down. Once it breaks down, you will notice that galvanised look in the flux. That's where on the other side, which you probably can't see, the black has a better pigment in the ceramic to improve that durability factor, which handles 1200 degrees Celsius, which we've done testing with engines up to 2000 horsepower, twin turbos. So we don't just do naturally aspirated applications, we can do anything that's basically metal. So the purpose of ceramic is to trap the heat inside whatever the product is, so it's a great thermal barrier. So with your engine bay componentries, we're trying to reduce temperatures in your engine bay, which a lot of you guys probably have issues with starter motors, electric faults. This will bring your temperatures down roughly 30%. So it's something to take consideration. Not only that, the corrosion resistant side of it with ceramic. Basically, if you've got anything from mild steel, which is probably the most common in the older cars, you would like to ceramic coat them purely for the reason of them going to be pitting, surface rust, and then corroding out, as you probably have noticed in your cars. So the ceramic will handle that, the corrosion side of it, the temperature side of things, and also they're great for cleaning. So you can wipe basically this whole motor that I've coated, you can basically wipe it down with thinners, prep wash, any solvents, whereas something like your traditional peeling of powder coating, you can't do so. So not only does it have a great thermal barrier, resistance with wear and tear, but it's easily as a great appealing looking coating, but also it's easy to clean. So that's something to think about in your engine bay, whether it be intake manifolds, fuel rails, bonnet hinges, nuts and bolts, which basically everything on this engine is coated. So everything from the fuel rail, even the bolts that come out the back here, we've done in a PTFE, which is the Teflon coating. So everything on here has a different curing process, and that's what I'll go touch base now. So the exhaust side of things, when they first come in, whether you give me a second-hand set or a brand new set, they go through the same process. So they'll go into a chemical dip to get rid of all the carbon out of the exhaust system. From that process, they'll go into a furnace oven at about 300 degrees Celsius for an hour. They'll degrease from there, straight into the sandblast room, and we'll blast with roughly between 80 to 100 grit of garnet, sand garnet, okay? From that point, they'll come out of the oven, out of the blast room, they'll get blown down, so you can't touch anything obviously with your fingers after that process. They'll get sprayed on application, they go into the furnace, And with the ratings of the polish, for instance, they'll get cooked at 260 degrees Celsius for 1 hour, and that will harden. Now, as you can see, the polish finish, and you guys may not know how that happens, but basically we have ceramic media balls in a vibrating machine. You probably can't see, but I've got one in my hand here, but there's all different size media that tumbles in a big machine, in a big surface, 700 kilos roughly. So if you guys have exhaust systems up to about 1500 long, they can go in the machine. Anything longer, we'll have to physically hold it in by hand, which is not much fun. So the ceramic side of things with the balls, the reason why they are shaped in a circle is obviously to get around the nooks and crannies. You basically can do anything but magnesium. That's the only material you can only not coat ceramic polish in. If you're going to do anything in magnesium, you'd probably be better off with one of our Teflon coatings. So it's cured only at 150 degrees Celsius instead of the 260 to 300 where you'll start fatiguing that material also. Intake manifold, same thing here. We've custom mixed a colour, so we don't just do your blacks and your chromes. You've got silvers, golds, pinks, greens, whatever you really like. The exhaust side of things is about 12 different colours to choose from. But with appearance, there's probably about 300. So if you need to touch base with myself, call me directly. We do pickups and deliveries all around Melbourne at no charge. So that's a really big part of our business, and that's why we're doing very, very well in the industry right now. We work with shops all around Melbourne, all around Australia now. So if you're not sure about the whole freighting side of things, please contact me. I can organise someone to either pick it up or I'll come directly myself. So if you have any questions, please feel free about anything that you have here. Yep.
Can you copy original manufacturer's colours?
Yes, yep. If you send a sample through, I'm sure we can come up with something to get pretty close. If not, exactly the same.
What's the electrical conductivity of the coatings?
Sorry, what was that?
What's the electrical conductivity of the different coatings?
That's a very technical question that I probably can't answer. The products that we do use are Teflon based, so if I can't answer that question, that's something that I can, if you can email me, I will basically find out through the guys in the States that make the product and touch base with you, that's no problem.
If you had to do brake calipers,
Things like putting an earth wire or something like that.
Oh, there's no problems. Basically, if you're going to be using like the Teflon, anything that we're going to be coating, whether or not if you're going to have issues with earth, we'd be masking off those areas anyway, so that wouldn't be an issue whatsoever.
How do you go with cast iron?
Yep, no problems at all.
No problem at all? Cast iron manifold?
Cast iron probably is one of the easiest to apply to because of the porousness of the material. We find the hardest material to coat is obviously stainless. There's a lot of materials out there now that are quite cheap and nasty, and the welding side of things as well. That sometimes can play up, but other than that, cast iron's fine.
brake calipers?
Sorry.
Brake calipers?
Yes, brake calipers. That's a good question. We can do various. We've actually got ceramic clears as well. So let's just say you want to do a 2-pack colour in whatever the colour is. We can coat that caliper in that colour for you, and then from there we would actually do a ceramic clear over the top, which is fuel resistant, fuel resistant, and heat resistant as well, up to 300 degrees Celsius. So that would be probably an ideal. We actually just did a set of alpha calipers on Friday. So the customer wanted that specific alpha colour. We painted them in 2-pack. From there we applied the decal, and then we cleared over the top, and that came up quite nice.
Okay.
Any other questions for Ryan?
One here from me. Say we're doing a 1934 B Model 4.
Yep.
Is there any advantage in ceramic coating those pistons?
Yes, that's another thing. So we'll touch base on the pistons. So engine builders all around Melbourne call me every day, basically trying to get, I'll give you a bit of an understanding of, you can get a build-up of either 1, 2 or 3 on saving a set of pistons, and that's probably the best thing, is that if they're a rare piston and you want to reuse those pistons, we can give you a build-up, so then you can remachine your block. But not only that, the friction, we've actually had dynos back-to-back, one without coating and one with coating, and you could actually hear the difference, the way that how smooth the sound of that engine was with the coating than it was without the coating. So it does work quite well.
Have you done the ceramic coating on top of the piston?
Yeah, so this coating, the gold coating you have here, there's a couple of different, depends on what fuels you're going to be running. Whether it's, a lot of guys running E85 now, nitros applications and stuff like that. So all these ceramics that we do put on top are fuel resistant to those. Also it helps with obviously detonation issues. And fatiguing the material. That's basically why we ceramic most things, is to obviously help the integrity of the product.
If you're going to Teflon coat and ceramic top the piston, do you have to allow for that in the bore?
No, the thickness, the micron thickness is very, very small, but not only that, to touch on doing the tops of the pistons, what you'd probably be better off doing also is inside the cylinder heads. So a lot of the race guys are doing in exhaust ports, chambers, valves to all suit that application together. So we work quite closely with whoever the engine builder is on whatever application it's going for. But the thickness build up on the tops has never ever affected any integrity of...
I'm not talking about thickness on the top, I'm talking about the Teflon coating on the walls.
Yep. So on the actual bores you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yep, there's no issues whatsoever. We've pulled engines down that have done probably 250, 300,000 with that Teflon coating. There's no scuffing on the bores whatsoever. Slight wear sometimes in the coating, but that's with a 3,000 max build up, we find that's the most durable. Even with engines that have a lot of bore to the bore slappage, piston slappage, sorry, we've found that there's no wear inside the bore. The only wear that will ever happen is on your Teflon coating on the side of the skirts.
Do you have to allow for your 3 thou of Teflon coating? So if you're running a 3 thou clearance on your bore,
Yep. Yes, so
you've got to measure outside the coating.
the best way to go about this is give me the pistons, we coat the pistons, then machine the block to suit.
Last one up the back.
Yep.
Can't hear you.
Two strokes motorcycle engines with ports, with transfer ports in there.
Yep.
How do you go with that stuff? Because we get once again a couple of vintage bikes.
Yep.
How do we go there? Is there a possibility there?
Oh, anything that's got a motor in it. We've done go-karts, so inside go-karts. So tops, skirts, inside the ports of the head. So yeah, 2 strokes, no problems. Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Ryan.
One more?
One more.
No, so everything has to be bare, pins out, clips, everything off. The masking procedure, and that's what I'd like to do is, if there's any clubs that would like to come and visit our factory, you know, you're welcome to come down and we can do an open day. We can come through, so if you want to book through, either contact me on the mobile or email. Feel free to come down, we'll have a barbecue and I can show you a little bit of the process on how the pistons get masked up and all the rest of that process as well. So we put a ring around, so a plastic ring, rubber ring, to mask off before we blast, because we are blasting the skirts. So we would tape off around the tops, ring, and then we actually plug off where the pin goes through. Okay, so and from that point we actually will blast just the skirt itself before application.
Thanks, Ryan. And look, very large thank you for all our presenters today. Can you put your hands together? They gave up their time freely and willingly, so it's very much appreciated by the people here. A couple of quick ads. If you could grace Maureen's palms with a gold coin on the way out for morning tea, that would be very much appreciated. We are also running a club management seminar here, and you all would have got a flyer on your way in. The details are on the AOMC website, so please encourage your club officials to book in and come along for that one. And the other thing is to thank you all for coming. Wouldn't be the same without people attending, so a very big thank you for giving up your morning. I hope I hope you've got something out of today's session. We have some presentations for the presenters, so we will do that in the next little while. Thank you very much, guys.